Hey gang, Drex here from DrexFactor.com with a review of Spinoptic Poi 2.0 from Lanternsmith. After a year in which it was basically impossible to acquire Spinoptics, Lanternsmith quietly dropped these without a lot of fanfare. A lot of people didn't even know that they were getting a second generation product until it appeared on their doorstep. These Poi tackle a few of the issues that the first generation product had while adding additional features. There's still some room for improvement though. Let's go through the features as well as pros and cons for these. Before we dive in, I just want to take a moment to give a shout out to the friends of the channel. Big thanks to Dark Monk, Spinballs, and Ultra Poi for helping to make the videos on this channel possible. You can visit them all on the web by following the links down in the description of this video. Now, on with the show. So, first an overview. Like the first generation Spinoptics, these are LED Poi that feature a translucent contact style head with a fiber optic tether and a clear handle. An LED light in the head shines a light down the tether and into the handle, effectively illuminating the entire Poi. The Poi are controlled with a single button at the tip of the head. Pushing it in fully will turn the unit off and on. Just like in the first generation Spinoptics, pushing this button can be a little tricky and requires some finger strength. You basically want to apply direct pressure from the tip of your finger to the very middle of the button. If you've done it right, you should feel a little click. Pushing the button only halfway in will cycle through one of 11 different color options: red, orange, white, yellow, light green, light blue, dark blue, indigo, purple, and pink. Once a color is selected, the light will flash twice and give you the ability to select one of 3 different brightness settings by pushing the button only halfway once again. You'll have to wait for the light to flash twice each time in order to select the next brightness setting. After flashing to let you know that you can change the brightness setting, the Poi will then lock into your mode and let you know the charge level of the battery. 1 flash means full battery, 2 means you're about halfway through, and 3 means you should probably charge them up. You can remove the batteries by pushing the light out of the head and then unscrewing the housing. Just like the first generation of Spinoptics, these take 3.7 volt lithium-ion batteries, the same kind in most vapes. So clearly the biggest improvement over the first generation Spinoptics is that they've done away with using filters to change the colors of the Poi. Hallelujah! The color changing system is pretty intuitive and easy to navigate, and it doesn't require you to unscrew anything. A lot of folks also had complaints about the tethers in the first generation, namely that they aren't as flexible as rope and also tend to have bizarre elastic effects that messes with throws and contact work. Now, the tethers are the same, but it turns out there is a way to improve their handling. The plastic in the tethers remembers the shape in which it's stored, so if you hang the Poi from the handles for a day, the tethers straighten out and handle much more like ropes. I shot a little bit of footage showing the difference between stretched and unstretched tethers. The stretched ones behave enough like rope to make tosses much easier. They still don't behave exactly like ropes, but they're close enough that there's almost no need to adapt to them. You can see on the contact rolls how big a difference this makes. One other caveat, this also means you've got to be careful in how you store them. If you leave them coiled up in your backpack, they'll wind up defaulting to a curve once again. While the handles are pretty light, I'm happy to report that you can still do gunslingers with them. It turns out that the tethers being less flexible than rope helps you out a little bit in performing these tricks. So let's take a look at pros and cons. Pros. Native color modes. Hooray! This, without a doubt, was the biggest problem with the first generation Spinoptics, and the way it's been updated in these is totally intuitive and a great fit for the product. These are also still the only LED contact Poi in the market that allow you to see the tethers. If you have an act with contact Poi that requires LEDs, seeing the tether adds a lot to the visual flair of these tricks. Cons. Even though these now have color modes, there's no strobe or color shifting mode. Basically, there's no mode that automatically cycles through colors nor flashes the light on and off. You get to control brightness and color, but that's it. Also, if you didn't like the tether on the first generation Spinoptics, you probably still won't like the tethers on these. As I outlined above, there are ways to get the performance closer to rope, but they will never feel exactly like the tethers on your practice Poi. So overall, these fix the biggest problem with the last generation of Spinoptics, and stretching the tethers gets them into a much more usable place. There's still some room for improvement in the third generation, but if you're looking for lit up tethers on your contact Poi, these are really hard to beat. Spinoptic Poi are available at Lanternsmith.com for $298. If you use the code DrexFactor with a 0 instead of an O at checkout, you can get a discount on your order. One other helpful thing, if you have first generation Spinoptics, you can actually buy an upgrade kit from Lanternsmith for half the price that updates the electronics while allowing you to use all of your original hardware. It's a great way to get into these if you're on a budget. I'll include a link to both the Poi as well as the upgrade kit down in the description. Thanks so much for watching and enjoy the flow. Peace. Hey there, thanks so much for watching my video. If you got anything out of it, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel to help it grow. Special thanks to all of my wonderful backers on Patreon. You guys are the ones that make these videos possible. If you're not a current backer and would like to sign up to support my channel, please visit patreon.com/DrexFactorPoi. Thanks so much in advance.